Hello, friends, and welcome back to Ghouls Night In, the spooky chat show with your best ghoul friends. I'm Penny Snark.
And I'm Midge Munster.
I think this is a hotly anticipated episode, Midge.
Yes. I was thinking today, Penny, about the first time you and I talked about this on the pod when it got announced, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, was close to 2 years ago. And it was like around this time because we were talking about, it was one of our Spookify Wrapped, I think, and we were talking about something we were excited about. Mm-hmm. And this had just freshly been announced and we were big geeking.
Yes, and I think even then we were like, well, they say that they're actually making it, but they've been saying that for a long, long time.
Yeah, it was giving Beetlejuice too.
It was, but they did, in fact, make it, because we're going to talk about Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein today.
Excuse me while I scream into the sun.
Oh my gosh. Well, for anyone, this should become as no surprise. This will be a full spoiler discussion. We're going to talk about everything. So if you have not watched it yet and you don't want to be spoiled, then you'll have to come back later.
Yes. I also just, out of the corner of my eye, I saw that at the time of recording this, we are just 2 days past the original Frankenstein film release anniversary, which is cool.
Oh, fabulous. Oh my gosh.
That's
all right.
November 21 for those of you listening not in real time.
Yes, for those of you who aren't here in this recording studio with us.
It's been well over a week at this point, but I just saw that. I said, oh, that's cool. I didn't know it was a November movie.
All right. I feel like
the only way to begin is by beginning.
It's true. It's very true. What did you think, Midge?
Oh my God. Wow. I feel like the best way to start talking about this is the fact that after I saw it in the theater.
Mm-hmm. I did as well.
Hell yeah. There are still, like, I know my local theater is still doing some showings. There are still some theaters doing some. If you are able to get out and see this on the big screen, do it. But it is, of course, available on Netflix for free.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, free with your
Netflix
subscription.
Price, yes. No additional charge.
No additional. But point being, I saw it on the big screen, left. I didn't go with like a group or anything. I just went and saw it because I knew I was going to have a moment. And this is when I know that a film has like deeply affected me. I came home, Penny, and sat in silence for 2 hours.
Oh my.
I was just processing what I had seen. Nosferatu was the same way for me. But yeah, wow. I mean, cinematography, costume design, set design, filmmaking, practical effects, just everything. Holy shit, dude. 10 out of 5 stars from my end.
Nice. Yeah, I liked it, but I didn't love it.
Okay, respect.
The production, 10, 11 out of 10. Stunning. Like, definitely agree. It is very much worth seeing in theaters. It's gorgeous. Just like a beautifully made movie. I had some disappointments just with some of the plot structure stuff, and not because it's different from the book. I just felt like some of the changes made it less interesting to me personally.
I can see where that's, yeah, I respect that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There were definitely a few things where I'm like, I wouldn't have done that, but in the scheme of things, they weren't, to me, detrimental to the rest of the film.
Yeah, I did enjoy it, and I did watch it again when it came to the Netflix, and watched it with a friend. I will say, so I did have a little bit of an uncomfortable theatrical experience when I went to see this movie. It was a entirely full house, which was fabulous, surprising, because a lot of the times, even when I saw Beetlejuice 2, like it was not super packed.
Yeah. No,
so,
I agree. Mine was too, for Frankenstein, was completely full.
Yeah, which was very cool. But so there were some rude people in my general vicinity who I'm like, you guys, this movie is produced by Netflix, but you are not on your couch watching Netflix, so please shut the fuck up. Shut up. And the other thing is, as I was sitting there, I was like, is it getting hot in here?
No.
And I was in fact, wearing a velvet dress because it was period and it was November and I was like, it's cold. This is fine. As I'm sitting there, I'm like, I am fucking broiling. It is so hot in here.
I was going to say, one thing we know about Penny is that if she gets hot, she stops processing.
Yes. So I did, apparently, after I left, I was told that the HVAC died at the theater. So this entirely sold out showing full of bodies, had no air conditioning at all. And my friend that I was with showed us that she had a Kit Kat in her purse that melted. So that's how hot it got in there. So I was like, I cannot focus on all of this, especially because I'm like, God, this movie's long. It's so hot.
Oh my God, yeah. It's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I had a little bit, I couldn't fully enjoy myself for that. So I'm like, I'm going to watch it again.
Maybe the only time, like normally I'm freezing in a movie theater.
Yeah.
Like I dress warm on purpose because I know I'm going to be cold.
Right, exactly.
Maybe the only time that didn't happen.
Yes. So I was like, okay, I got to watch it again just to make sure. Because as I was there, I was like, I feel like I have some complaints about pacing and kind of the length of this, and rewatching it again without crazy temperature. I did still have some of the same complaints, but I was able to enjoy it a lot more without roasting myself.
I did find myself at one point being like, they could have edited about 20 minutes out of this and it would have been perfect. I think if it hit that right at 2 hours, I think that would have been the sweet spot for me lengthwise.
Yeah. And I feel like that was part of my complaint, was just like specifically in Victor's story, because we do have things split up. They added so much stuff in there that I was like, we didn't need this. I do need
agree
this.
With that. Yeah, because by the time we got to the creature's tail, I was like very ready to move on.
Yes, I was like, all right.
And then I really enjoyed most of that section, like a lot. I will say too, just didn't know Jacob Elordi had that in him.
Right? I was so impressed. Like
I was really like miffed at that casting choice initially, and because I just think of him as being like from Euphoria. Like like I was like, oh, he's kind of like a pretty boy, like a white boy of the month flavor. But my goodness, he really did that.
He did,
I thought he was phenomenal.
Yeah, I definitely, I thought that the creature tail segment was definitely the strongest part of the movie, in large thanks to, just a really great performance from him. So I thought that was really good.
Of course, 100% knew what was going to happen to the old man.
Yeah.
I know the story, and nothing still could have prepared me for the devastation that I experienced.
I know, that was so sad.
Oh, oof. But yeah, I was really, and honestly, all around, I thought Oscar Isaac was great. I still can't fully, I'm going to say it, controversial yet brave, I still can't fully get on board with Mia Goth, no matter how hard I try. I do like her. I think she's a good actor. But I feel like I look at her and I just see Mia Goth.
I would say the same. I definitely, I think that she was well cast here because it was,
I agree.
a good spot to do the Mia Goth thing, but it was definitely yep, that's you.
That's Pearl.
Although I will say I 100% did not fully recognize her as Frankenstein's mother with the eyebrows. I was looking and I was like, that woman is so familiar.
Well, I mean, I had the like, wow, she looks exactly like Mia Goth. Like, I had like that moment, but it didn't process until later. Yeah, but I mean, I think maybe you're on that page with me of like, one of my favorite things about Crimson Peak is that Edith is an actor that I feel like I've seen in nothing else.
Yeah.
Even though I know she's been in other stuff, like, I love, it kind of pulls me out of the story when I'm looking at an actor and I'm like, oh, that's so-and-so.
Yeah, totally.
Especially when you're telling a story that people already know. I don't know. She did a great job. I just think maybe I would have loved to have seen a little less prominent actress in that.
Yeah, it would have been a really nice role for someone who is more unknown.
Yeah, like me. No, I'm kidding.
For example.
Why didn't I get to have a leaf handed to me by Jacob Elordi in full prosthetics? We got to talk about that though. The makeup. Holy hell.
The makeup. So good.
That I didn't know if I was vibing with that creature design when I saw like early photos of it. Mm-hmm. But man, it really just played beautifully on screen. And I loved the journey that it took of like his hair growing and like, I love that there was life in him. Like, if that makes sense. Like, it was dead tissue, but like obviously he's still growing hair. He's still like regenerating flesh and things. And I thought that made it really, I don't know. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I know that there's various opinions about how sexy the monster should be, but I'm like, if he's made out of people bits, like there's no reason that he would be like a monster. Like, yeah, he is assembled of bits. So like,
well, and in theory, Victor is creating him to let him like exist in society in theory, right? Like, I mean, he's trying to create a man, so he wouldn't want him to look disgusting or people to necessarily be afraid of him.
That was one of the parts where when we have him like we see like the hunters come back and they're like, I don't know what that was, but we shot it, and I'm like, it was pretty clearly a big weird dude. Like,
yes, very clearly like a 6'5" man.
Like that was a man. Like he looked weird, but like it was a human figure. So I don't know what you guys like. I agree that it would be strange and shocking, but you would think they would be more like, I saw Slender Man out there.
Right. Well, I think too, like, one thing about the monster loving community, that we were all into Nosferatu.
Right.
Like,
there's
no level of, like, it didn't matter what he looked like. We were going to be like, that monster's hot. So
yeah, it's true.
It's just a bonus that he has nice hair and kind eyes.
Yes.
But yeah, I think as far as script and like structure, I did like, I mean, in most ways, this is actually the most true adaptation to the book I think that's ever been done for screen.
Yes, definitely significantly more book related than any other adaptation.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, you can tell that he like was starting from the actual novel versus other ones that are just kind of like, whatever, it's a monster movie.
And I know it was maybe a bit, let's say, tedious at times, but I did really like the use of the ship framing device, because that is like a huge part of the book.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah, I was down. And you know me, I'm an Arctic girly, so I was like, hell yeah!
You said maritime disaster.
A maritime disaster, a ship in the ice. I know all about this.
Penny said, "My program."
Yes, my show is on.
Yeah, so I think, I can understand where that was the part I feel like I saw a lot of people being like, did we really have to keep going back to the ship? And I'm like, well, yes.
Yeah. See, and I'm like, I like that part. I was like, I don't need this whole subplot about real estate with Christoph Waltz. Like, love him, but I was like, why are we going? And especially because it's like, obviously they were like, well, we have to explain why we're putting this guy in this big crazy tower instead of, in the book where he's like, I'm going to make a monster in my student apartment.
Right.
But I was like, I didn't need all this. This is not like a movie that's based on like logical things. You can just be like, hey, I've got this sweet lab now.
Well, of course. Yeah. Especially with, we're reanimating a corpse. We don't really have to explain.
Exactly. I was like, I wasn't going to be like, huge plot hole.
How did he get that lab?
Have a lab.
Well, yeah, I feel like even there were quicker ways to set it up, even like through the university or something.
Yeah. Even just to be like, hey, I've got this guy who's going to pay for me to have my lab. I didn't need like 20 minutes of lab building footage.
Yeah. Though, god dang, that set. Holy
It is a beautiful set. And that's the thing, too, where I'm like, so you guys just wanted to show off all the cool stuff you did for this set, which is fair, because it's beautiful.
Yeah. I will take the 10 minutes of Medusa head footage. So what were your, give me, like, a couple of your roses, couple of your thorns for this movie. I mean, you kind of said a little bit about what you maybe didn't like, but
yeah, I guess
go into full Roger Ebert.
Sure, totally. Yeah, I think, like, I definitely get, obviously, Guillermo is a monster lover, like us, both in the monsters are hot way and also, like, just, like, adoring a monster.
Yes.
And, like, having sympathy for them. So, like, I definitely love bringing some of that to it. But I was just kind of disappointed by how kind of, like, it just felt kind of simplified and smoothed out to have it be, like, everything Victor does is terrible, abusive dad stuff, and the monster never did anything wrong ever. Like, I just think it's more interesting to have to deal with some of, like, the monstrousness of a creation. Like, he obviously, was, like, ripping wolves and stuff apart. So that's fine. And then it just made it feel weird to me, the fact that the monster didn't actually kill anybody in it, but then also was just fine killing a bunch of sailors in the beginning, which I'm like, this makes less sense than if we kind of establish that he maybe has, like, an unsure connection to his own humanity. Like, does he see himself as a human or as these people? And also just, like, that Victor just caused all his own problems personally, and not that it was like, I caused a problem by creating this thing that I cannot control, which I think is something that I really like from kind of the original story, is like that kind of side. So I just felt like it was just kind of like a little simplified, and kind of the basicness of like, all right, Victor had a bad dad, so now he's a bad dad, and that's kind of it. And I know that, like, we've seen from interviews that, like, there is a lot of, like, personal, like,
he was
father,
addressing,
daddy issues in here. So I understand that, but I was kind of like, it just felt more compelling to me as a narrative with, like, a little bit more push and pull in that kind of situation, and just the fact that William was like, you're the monster, Victor. I was like, yeah, thanks, guys. I got it. So I never, and that is something that I feel like is maybe a Netflix thing, since we know that they like to have writers put, like, extremely explicit descriptions of what's going on into plays. And it just made me be like, all right, so all of the subtext in this novel is now just text. I was like, it's a little bit less interesting like that.
Sure. I will say, I think for me, that establishing up top of him killing the sailors, I think my brain just went to, like, I kind of layered that over his experience, full stop. Like, in my head, I was like, I'm assuming this is not the first time this has happened.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see what you mean as well. But yeah, I the father stuff is definitely heavy-handed for sure. I will say too, my parents watched it. I was excited because I was, sometimes I tell them to watch things and they do or they don't, or they don't like it or whatever. But I got a text from my dad at like 9:30 or 10 at night, and he just said, Frankenstein, speechless. I was like, hell yeah. But I talked to them the next day on the phone about it, and my dad, his like complaint was the ending. He was like, my one thing is like, he was like, I don't feel like he would have forgiven him. I don't think he should forgive him. And then, but that's an interesting, you know, it's like my father has his own layers of things that he's putting on that movie. And so it's like, I think no matter what, like any art, you're going to layer your own experience on top of it. But I do think I also had a little bit of that watching it in the theater of like, I don't know if this is the strongest ending in the world.
Yeah, I would.
That was my
agree.
one moment of like, okay. I didn't hate it at all, but I just was like, oh, I think maybe I would have been interested to see some other options.
Yeah, and just like I feel like it's not so it felt fast, especially after like the entire movie was like very long and it was like oops, snap, it's fine. And like obviously, you know, he's hearkening back, you know, to the conversation about like forgiveness and the ability to, you know, accept that someone has wronged you. But it did just I just in probably, as I said for the other thing, I just wanted more shades of gray there. Like, I feel like it was kind of presented like he was like, that the creature was...
Creature good, Victor bad.
and just that the creature was like, yes, I have learned that it's important to forgive, even though I ran all the way up here with this man pursuing me, all this crazy shit happened, and now at this very second, he was like, you're right, maybe I was a bad dad. And he's like, cool, I forgive you. I wanted to maybe have like a little more unsureness from him, or like kind of like an implication that maybe he's saying that he forgives him, but isn't sure if like that's really true. Because I do think, because obviously in the book, Victor dies before the creature arrives at the ship. And I feel like that kind of is more interesting in a way to like leave it kind of unresolved. That it's like, maybe I could have forgiven him, but you know, it's not there. And that another is just, obviously it's a theme that Del Toro really wanted to explore with like this kind of forgiveness. And I know I don't remember, I don't know if it was specifically about the ending, but I know I saw a part where he was like, oh yeah, you know, people suggested like cutting some of these lines, but I was like, this is something I would have wanted to say to my father. So it's a very personal connection, but I didn't know that it really felt like earned from the like arc of the characters. Story.
Sure. No, I definitely agree with that in a lot of ways. I don't know. I don't know where that was going. I'm like, I guess I'm like, well, I guess we have to have grace for the fact that like at the end of the day, Guillermo is an artist and he's going to say what he's going to say with it. But then, there is the like literary purist in me that's like, I would love to have seen just a different option maybe.
And I feel like that's like, I think a lot of people have I felt a little bit like, meh, because I've seen a lot of people being like, oh, so you just want everything to be exactly like the novel. And I'm like, I don't care if it's different if I feel that made the narrative better. Like, I'm fine. I was just having
this conversation yesterday with our friend Kelsey from that is Good Morning America. We were talking about the Wuthering Heights adaptation that's coming out, and I was like, you know, I'm a selective purist in the fact that I don't care if it's different as long as you made it good. Like, like as long as it, the choices you made make sense and are reflective of the overall themes of the original piece, then I'm good. And that's, I'm kind of what I'm maybe hearing from you is that it did kind of alter some of the overall messages of the original text in a lot of ways. And I mean, I think that overall it is like thematically true to the original, and like,
But I was kind of just like, oh, like I feel like some of the choices just made it a little bit less interesting for me personally. But I did still really enjoy watching it. Like I will certainly put it in my rotation of cool goth movies. Especially, I was like, Guillermo does so good with like a November movie. Like Crimson Peak is such a November movie to me, and I'm like,
he loves to do spooky snow time, and
right?
that makes me really happy.
It's like spooky snow. You got the dark vibe, so I'm like, this is definitely going in like the November rotation.
Yeah, I remember when when they announced the release date, I was like, that's weird. Why would they wait till after Halloween? And now I'm like, no, that was the right call.
Yeah.
It's a Gothic girl winter.
It is a Gothic girl
movie.
Winter. So, okay, this is not, I mean, it is about Frankenstein. So I did go with a big group of people. And afterward, the majority of people were like, well, it was too long, but I liked it better than Nosferatu. So I wanted to ask you whether you prefer Frankenstein or Nosferatu.
Ooh. My gut, like without judging it or thinking about it, was I prefer Nosferatu.
I also prefer Nosferatu.
I had a really intense emotional reaction to Nosferatu. I did have an emotional reaction to Frankenstein for sure, but not. I think that, you know, even just as a woman watching those two movies, the Nosferatu is a lot more rooted in the, like, I mean, yes, Elizabeth is also going through that in Frankenstein, but Nosferatu is about, like, Ellen's, a relationship to her femininity, her sexuality, her place in the world as a woman that's run by men. Whereas Frankenstein is about the creature, which is fine. It should be. And it's about the relationship between him and Victor. But, like, even though Mia was there, I wouldn't say that I was, like, locked into the feminist aspect of that literature, you know? So yeah, I think I connected more with Nosferatu, and it also just felt darker in a lot of ways, and which I loved.
I think that it is like a good comparison, because I'm like, also like, I think I'm like, this is descriptive of me and my preferences. I'm like, I would prefer like the strong vibes over the like, let me tell you exactly what the plot of the story is kind of energy. So I feel like that kind of made me lean more kind of in that direction.
Yeah. And I mean, of course, visually it's near impossible to beat Guillermo. Like,
oh yeah. Yes. Visually, like,
it was a freaking feast, dude. Like, I mean, one thing we know about Del Toro, he loves an insect motif.
Yes. Oh my God. I did love. I was like, of course, Elizabeth's a bug girl.
She a bug girl. And I noticed before they even brought the bugs in, I was like, oh, there's a lot of like bug fabric happening here on her body. And then, of course, again, though, I did have that moment where it's like, that's a little heavy-handed, when she was like laying with the beetles in the beetle dress. I was like, okay, yeah, we get it. She's a bug. She going through a metamorphosis. We get it. But yeah, I really did love that element a lot of. And once again, this happened with Crimson Peak. It happens with so many movies. My favorite dress in that film was on screen for 10 seconds.
I was just going to ask you what your favorite dress was.
Well, okay. Overall, total, my favorite dress is the red dress at the very beginning. Obviously, the Victor's mom's dress.
That is a beautiful dress.
Which I learned online is actually like a black and white striped dress with a red sheer overlay.
Ooh.
So I was like, that's a cool effect. But my favorite Elizabeth dress was the butterfly, when she's catching butterflies in the yellow dress.
That is really pretty.
I'm also just shocking absolutely no one. I'm a sucker for yellow anytime I see it on screen, because Crimson Peak, her like gold house robe thing is my favorite gown in that movie. So I just love to see yellow used in like Gothic pieces. I think it's a really like fun, surprising choice, and it feels juxtaposed to what's happening around them, and it just is exciting to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my favorite of hers, at least. What about you?
Ooh, yeah, tough choices. There are so many really pretty ones. I really like the like kind of dark like red and black like brocade dress that she wears when she comes to visit Victor. I really liked that. And then I think it is not the like full like beetle print dress, but the green dress that she wears when they go to the lab, like after the thing has happened.
When she meets, like when she's wearing
when
the
she meets
veil.
the creature. Yeah, that one is really gorgeous.
That veil on that piece in particular.
I loved all the veils in this movie.
Yeah, I did too. Well, and it, like something about the color of that fabric didn't look real. Mm-hmm. Like it was just really cool color. And I don't know if it was because they layered that purple like behind it with the bonnet, but I don't know. That was a very, very cool. Lots of great textures, like things moved in very interesting ways.
The fabrics were all like really interesting.
I am going to bring something to the table because I kind of had the thought, and then I was like, maybe I'm being a poo-poo head.
Yeah.
But then I saw Ashlita express the same thought, and she is a person whose fashion opinions I trust with the utmost. Like,
yeah.
The wedding dress was odd to me.
Oh my God. I was about to ask you what you thought about the wedding dress, because I also did not really like it.
Now, loved the arm bandages. Obviously, a very cool homage there. I thought that was fun. And I grabbed that immediately and was like, ooh. And I think that almost distracted me momentarily from what was happening on the bodice. Yeah. Where I was like, ooh, arms, fun. And then, of course, like the effect of it like bleeding while he's carrying her in the dress, like slowly turning red. That was stunning, of course. But yeah, I think I don't want to misquote her, but Ashlita said something to the effect of that the top of it looked like an Under Armour, like athletic apparel. It kind of did. And I know it was supposed to look like a rib cage.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been my design choice.
Yeah, I feel like it almost looks like armor, which like I guess I get some of the symbolism, but then to also like, because it's a very structured bodice, but then with like tulle ruffles on top of it, which there
was a lot happening.
There's a lot going on. Kind of felt like a mixed metaphor there. Like I'm like, is this supposed to be like a bug like carapace? But then you put like the frilly stuff on top, and it like the brooches with the chains just. And also I was like, girl, do you have to wear the same freaking necklace?
She does. Like, she has one.
I have my one Red Cross necklace.
My one Red Cross.
And this is the only thing that I wear. I was like, girl, this doesn't go with your dress.
I did find the choice to wear the necklace with the dress strange. And I again, I'm like, I get the red and the metaphor and the connection to Victor's mom and blah 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 blah. But that was not, that particular costume choice was not for me. And of course, it's like the one everyone's like waiting to see.
Yeah,
you know, we're literally like talking about the Bride of Frankenstein, basically.
Yes.
It was fine. It was fine. It was fine, but there was a lot of beautiful costume design in this, of course.
There was, and I really appreciated like how beautiful the like gore was, like the fact that like it is like obviously horrifying to like watch Victor like, you know, just kind of like slicing bodies open and putting stuff in there, but it looks so good. And like, I love, obviously, that kind of, like, beauty in the macabre, I think, was, like, really strongly deployed here.
Yeah, I agree. And I liked, kind of, I guess, sort of in that vein, I loved the detail of the spine and the creature's coat.
Yeah.
That was so cool. Like, I like that it was, even when he was clothed, he was still, like, obviously he's still a body. I don't know how to...
No, yeah.
Like, I loved that detail. I loved, I almost wished that I hadn't seen the shots of Del Toro working with Oscar Isaac with the body like splayed with the back open, because I think that's one of the most like visually striking things. And of course it was still beautiful, but that was one of those moments where I was like, oh, I almost wish I hadn't seen that before I watched this, because I think that would have been like, I would have had a real moment with that if I had seen it live in the movie. I feel like there was something else I wanted to ask you. Oh, I did want to say too, on the fashion front, actually most of my favorite outfits in the movie were Victor's.
He was slaying. He had
some
good outfits.
Down.
He really
did.
The
all red fit was such a mood, and then him in that like his like sassy little robe when he's like sitting on the bench waiting for Elizabeth, which I was like, no one has ever been a bigger diva,
right? Oh my gosh,
Victor Frankenstein right now.
And all of the like red gloves were so good.
Yeah, I will say, classic me. I've never like quote gotten the Oscar Isaac thing, and then in this I was like, oh no, okay, I get it. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yep.
I am a long time Oscar Isaac fan.
I feel like I haven't seen him in much, so I just didn't really like know. But yeah, I was like, give me a mad scientist or like a professor, a manic professor type, and I'm there. I'm all in.
Just drinking milk all day because he's obsessed with his mommy.
Wild choice. Wild choice. I was like, okay.
That was another one where I was like, yep, we are sure putting that subtext right out front.
right in the cup. Yeah, I do think, especially when you compare this to like a Pan's Labyrinth or a Crimson Peak, that is the big difference, is that it's much more out in the open. Then there's less like analysis to be done, I guess.
yeah, and it was just interesting to me because I do expect like a little bit more of a delicate touch from his movies.
Yeah,
so I was
absolutely.
like, oh, this is felt like a little bit of a departure from form for me, which is a matter of taste.
Sure. Oh, my last note that I have is that I love that this film is bringing the Fisk coffin into the general public's. I have seen so many like Instagram reels, TikToks, whatever, about people being like, "Did you know?
Did you know this is a real type of coffin?" And I was like, "We been new here on Ghouls Night In."
Well, and my favorite thing is most of the things I've seen have not even addressed the explosive nature of said coffins. It's been like
people every time they were like, these were great because they're airtight. I was like, was that great though?
No, they were not. There's a reason we don't use them.
We don't do this anymore.
Well, I saw like one, and the person who posted it was really great about it, because I like made a like teehee comment, because their last bit of the dialogue that they said in the video was like, and the most unsettling part was that there was a viewing window to look at the face or whatever. And I commented, and I was like, actually, the most unsettling part was that the bodies were exploding because there was no room for the decomposition gases to get out because it was airtight. And then, the OP was like, oh my God, what? That's crazy.
Yes. Oh my gosh. They look so good though. I was like,
oh, that
man,
was stunning.
I'm like, I want a coffin with a beautifully sculpted version of my face on top.
I know. Yeah, I did love the combination, because I mean, I feel like that wasn't super typical of a Fisk to have.
Yeah,
because
like you said, it was usually like a little porthole for you.
It was literally like a little scuba helmet. Yeah. So I liked the kind of combination of that with the death mask element. That was really, one of the really fun things has been Instagram's been feeding me a lot of the artists who actually worked on the pieces and getting to see the process of like making the ice encapsulated horse or making the fist coffin or making like the energy reactor things, like the big green guys and the guy who did the body. Have you seen the meme about Mia's double? Mia's
I don't think so.
Dummy. So they made a dummy, a like full life-size hyper-realistic dummy of Mia for Jacob to carry when he's carrying her down the stairs when she's been hit. And they, first of all, horrifying. But the meme that people have been putting on it are like, kudos to this artist, because it looks exactly like her and it's horrifying. They're like, if I was Mia, I would ask that thing be burned and like its ashes but the big gag with it has been that the information listed with it is like, oh, here's her prop dummy, blah blah blah. It didn't end up getting used because Jacob just carried Mia instead.
I was gonna say, I was like, I mean, obviously you never know what someone's personal physical abilities are, but I was like, I feel like Jacob can probably carry her.
But in that much like fabric and prosthetic, and then she's in tons of fabric, like it's just a heavy, but yeah. So then there's like all these memes of girls like tucking their hair behind their ears and being like, oh, he just carried Mia instead.
The primary meme that I've seen since you did mention it is the Victor pouting in his robe. It just says, sure, blame the person whose fault it is.
One of my friends from college posted that with the caption, me breaking up with my ex 2 years ago. Sure, blame the guy whose fault it is. Well, I hope that y'all enjoyed this.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been like, I know people wanted to hear us talk about it. I hope that you will tell us what you thought as well. I'm interested. I mean, I feel like I'm seeing a lot of online discourse, of course, but definitely would love to start like a Ghouls Night discussion about what everybody thought.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Let us know what your favorite dress is.
Yeah,
or
definitely tell us.
Costume. You can pick one of Victor's sleigh costumes as your favorite if you would like.
Or the creature's coat, if you want.
Yes. Actually, William had some cute little outfits. He was such a cute little dandy boy.
Oh, he was cute.
I was like, oh, honey.
Yeah, that was there was a lot happening there. My final note, I suppose, is that I did leave the theater, and I was talking to Devin afterward, and I was like, I don't want to like spoil anything because they hadn't seen it yet, but whether or not it was intended, I do feel like the queer subtext was still very present. Yes. I would agree. And for that, I was happy. I was like, okay, there's still a lot of gay shit happening here, and that's important to me as a monster girl.
A monster girl. You gotta have the queer subtext, otherwise, what are we even doing here?
What are we even doing? Alrighty. Well, any last thoughts there, Pennifer?
No, I feel like we have vented all of our thoughts.
Yeah.
Got them all out there. But yes, as Midge said, we would love to hear your thoughts. You can leave those for us on our Instagram, or we do have a Frankenstein spoiler chat in the Ghouls Night in Discord, where we've been chit-chatting about some of these things. So we would love to have you join us over there if you want to talk with some of your fellow ghouls. There's a link for that in the episode description, as well as in our Instagram bio. And I believe we are out of fresh hot reviews, but I did have a brief review / comment from our Spotify.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
So this was left by Bren Munster. Any relation, Midge?
Hello, sibling or cousin or...
Who says, 5 stars, honestly work! Exclamation point. So thank you very much, Bren.
It's giving
this was left on down the bone chute, our recent episode. Yep. So I think Bren's coming down into the cave with us.
I posted a meme or it wasn't even a meme. I think it was a piece of art. I wish I could remember this artist's name, but they make like toys but screwed up. So it's like Fisher Price like electric chair.
Nice.
So they had posted like an Easy Bake crematorium.
Oh my god.
And it was like a little Easy Bake with like a little pink, it was all pink, and there was like a little pink coffin sliding into it. And someone replied to me posting that and said, "This is the Ghouls Night In family crypt." Yes. So that's true. That is.
I love it. But yes, all right. I don't think I actually said that our Instagram is at Ghouls Night In Pod. If you want to join us over there. And if you are looking for me, you can find me at Penny Snark.
And you can find me all over the web at Midge Munster.
And until next time, good